Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
It is capable of integrating information and people at one place. Like it can integrate reports and the users who consume the reports in a one environment. It is kind of a repository. Business Objects, it was an independent company. It is not from SAP, but after it got a good recognition, SAP got acquired this in 2007 to leverage its business intelligence capabilities. Now it is known as SAP Business Objects. Some people also call it as a BOBJ or Boxy. SAP Business Objects is not a single tool. It is a collection of front-end applications. It consists of multiple tools like Web Intelligence, UDT, IDT, Dashboard Explorer and all. I'll show you that in our next slides. It is mainly used to view, sort and analyze the business intelligence data. We are professional. The BO training is one of the most important and lucrative field of BI. As you know, the business intelligence is very high in the market now. Like we have many opportunities in business intelligence. Business Objects is one of the tool in business intelligence. If you are interested in data, if you are interested to create some reports, if you want to play with the data and get some meaningful insights, Business Objects is a place for you. It is very important for a professional like us to settle in a data field. It is like a starting point. If we are comfortable with the basics of SA, business objects and basics of reporting, we can mold ourselves to any other visualization tool as per the market requirement. I'm telling like BO is a part of business intelligence. What are the benefits of business intelligence? Let me tell you like a background. We know like any company, whether it is a small or big, it stores information. Like if we go to some pharmaceutical store or if we go to some Walmart or somewhere, there they collect information about the product. They maintain the information like what are the products that has been sold, which customer has bought it, and their phone numbers and their price. Everything they store. If you just imagine like they are keeping every information, like for every product and for every customer, they might be storing millions of records of data. Let's have the session as an interactive. Stop me whenever you get any doubt. They'll be storing this much of data. And do you think any time like what do they do with this data? They'll use this for their business divisions. They will be storing the data in some other database like Oracle, SQL, or SAP. They'll be storing, per year they'll be storing some hundreds of tables of data. But by just storing that data, they will not get any information from that. They cannot go to the tables directly and they cannot query. They'll not be knowing anything useful. Here comes the business intelligence. By using those tables of data, by creating some schemas and by creating reports on top of that to get the information, like in particular year, if our customer or our executive want to know, like in 2018, which region has performed better? in 2022 first quarter, which product has performed better, which is poor. What do we need to do to get the better results? That is all possible using business intelligence. If you see here, the benefits of business intelligence is data-driven business decisions. They have data, then they are using the data to create proper reports based on the requirement that they can take the business divisions based on the data. It's not like a random division. They'll have all solid evidences and proofs, and they'll know like where to invest and all. The number 2 benefit is increased efficiency. As they know what are their pain points, what are the low areas, and where they are performing better, and based on those information, they'll take the decisions, and the efficiency will be increased. Number 3 is boost ROI. ROI means return on investment. They know where to invest and which campaigns to produce and which products to sell more and which region, which customers. For which customers there is a like a for which region if our sales are not that good. We can go to that region and we can make more campaigns and we will know. We can make some surveys on the customers like why, what are they expecting from us. Based on that, they can boost their ROI and increase the competitive advantage. In this current market, the competition is everywhere. We should know thoroughly about our business. Then only we can take the decisions and increase our competition in the market and also improve customer experience based on the customer experience. We will also store the information about the customer which are like there are some databases like which customer has logged in what they have seen like a product recommendations, which customer has seen the ads multiple times. I mean how many ads are being seen. Based on that, we can improve the customer experience also. It is all like we will collect everything from our company, like from our data, like a business data, sales, finance, customer usage data. We will collect everything and will store in database tables and we will create schemas on top of that. And we will create reports on visualization on top of that to get meaningful information. That is about business intelligence. Here are important terms to know in business intelligence is these are the terms. Like as you are from other background, I would like to just give a basic understanding on these terms. We can say like the data is a new oil, like it is a new money. If we properly use the data, we can lead the industry. Data is like a meaningful collection of information database. As I told you, every company uses their own databases to store the data. The database can be MySQL, Oracle, SAP HANA. These are relational databases. They store data in form of tables. Data warehouse is a SAP. It is like an online analytical processing data. It is like they store the data in cube in multidimensional formats. Examples of them are SAP BI or ECC Extra. Reporting, as we know, these are the tools which are useful to create reports on top of data that we have, that data schemas that we have created. Like reports can be any finance report or sales report for this quarter. It can be anything. And the reporting, it need not to be only text reporting. It can also have charts and more visualizations and control on that. Input controls and all that. It is more interactive that analyzing users can analyze and get more insights on that. The examples of reporting tools are SAP Business Objects. We can say one tool from each company, like from Microsoft we have MSBI. From IBM we have Cognos, from SAP we have SAP Business Objects. We know like how competitive this reporting is. And also visualization. Visualization is like showing the data in a more creative and visualized manner with charts and graphs and with more interactivity that the users will understand the data very fine. And also it is more useful for the high-end users like CEO, CFOs. They can see the data statistics in their iPads and tablets and they can take the decisions. The examples of those visualization tools are Taboo Business Objects, Dashboards, SAP Analytics for Cloud, CAC and Lumia X Cloud. Here comes the BOBJ sheet. As I told you, Business Object is a front-end application. It is a combination of tools. It is not a single tool. If you see here this above thing, Crystal Reports, Web Intelligence, Dashboards, Explorer, LibreOffice, these all come under BOBJ suite. But we will focus mainly on our Web Intelligence as part of reporting. And this information design tool here, the middle layer, it is also part of Business Objects. If you see here the lower section, SAP BOBJ Application Database, Customer Database, XML, Web Service, these are different kinds of databases. One client might use OLAP database. One client might use SAP BOBJ. One might use MySQL or Oracle. They can use any kind of database based on their requirement. But our BOBJ, what it can do is it can integrate with these databases and it can import the tables. It can create a database schema which is meaningful and which is understandable by the clients. Here, what we do in information design tool is we will import tables based on our requirement. What are all the tables like product table, customer table, sales and all like those fact tables. We will import the tables. We will do the required joins between those tables and we will create a semantic layer which is understandable by the business. Like here in the databases, they can write anything, they can type anything, but that might not be understandable by the business user. But in our information design tool, we will create classes and objects and dimensions which are understandable in business terms like sales, region, quantity, product law. We will change the terminology here as per the business requirement. We will create logic and database schemas here and we will use this as a data source for these reporting tools. It is about information design tool and these are the BOBJ reporting tools. These are the databases. It is a complete BOBJ suite. If you see here, it is a consistent business user experience. We will maintain it integrated. The experience is always consistent and it is trusted access to information. Here we also integrate the security here. No one. I mean like only the people who has the eligibility and who are allowed to access. They will only access based on their role. We will knock. The reports are not accessible by everyone. It is based on their roles and user profile. We will create some security and then only we will publish the report. It is very secure. Heterogeneous access over all sources means the sources can be anything like OLAP, MySQL or SAP BBO or SAP HANAN. The source can be anything. We are able to consume that. It is a multi-source perspective. If we have two sources like MySQL and Oracle, we can create a universe on top of those two universes. Like if sales data is stored on Oracle and financial data is stored on MySQL, we can integrate them, we can combine them using our information design tool and we can create reports on top of that. That is here multi-source perspective. It is a sample report like how we can create. We know like a tables, Excel or some table. We will not be knowing like it is very tough to say like in 2018 for a product A, what is the sales? It is very tough here. But here, if we create a report in a meaningful format with the slide controls and click it, 2-3 clicks, we will know. Like what is the sales in 2018 or what is the sales in 2022, which product is performing bad and all like this. This chart is like a conditional formatting chart. We can show, like we can put conditional formatting that once the user opens the report, they will know, like based on the color coding, they can directly see that which is performing better and which is performing poor. This kind of visualizations are also possible in web intelligence apart from normal reporting. As part of our training session, we will cover these two tools. IDT Information Design Tool. It is like a how to create a database schema on top of tables. I'm including this tool here that we will know, like when we are creating web intelligence reports, we will know what objects we are using, where are they getting from. We will know entire thing, like how it is getting loaded, how the data is getting loaded. We will know all the background knowledge. For that purpose, I'll start Information Design tool first. After that, we will go for Web Intelligence. Today, I'll give a quick introduction about the tools and the view. This is the Information Design tool. I just wanted to let you know, like, what is the Information Design tool. As I told you already, it is a tool where we create a database schema. The definition here comes it as an information design tool is SAP Business Objects Metadata Design Environment. Here we are designing the metadata that enables a designer to extract the tables from the database. We define classes and objects in a more meaningful manner and manipulate metadata. We will write formulas to get the data as per our requirement from relational and OLAP sources. Relational means the databases which store the information in table manner. For example, Oracle and MySQL. OLAP sources means they store the data in a cube manner like SAP BI or ECC. Whether it is the SAP source or non-SAP source, we can integrate and create some meaningful metadata in using Information Design tool. Who can use this Information Design tool? It can be used by anyone like database administrator, an application manager or a developer like us, or a project manager or a report creator who has acquired enough technical skills to create universes for other users. Report creator need not to be only create reports. He should also have experience with IDT, like how they create. If we know the background knowledge, it is more useful for our analysis purpose or a security administrator. Even security can be applied in Information Design tool. That is about Information Design tool. We create universes using SAP or non-SAP databases in Information Design tool, and we can consume these universes as source for these reporting tools like SAP Business Objects Interactive Analysis, which is nothing but web intelligence. Crystal Reports or Bio Explorer or Bio Dashboard. These four, most of the tools can consume universe as a source and they can create reports on top of that. Here comes the workflow of Information Design tool, like how we create a universe in IDT. From now onwards, I just say Information Design tool as IDT in IDT. This is the workflow that we follow. First, we will create a project. Project can be local or shared. Local is for individual use, shared is for public use. If we want to share it with our internal team colleagues, we have to create the project as a shared. And after creating a project, we should create a connection. That connection can be it also can be local or secured. We need secured connection to export that connection to repository. If we want to use and consume that universe in reports, we definitely need to create a secured connection. That connection, again, it can be relational connection or OLAP connection. Like the data source is relational, like MySQL or Oracle, we will go for relational connection. If our database is SAP BOBJ or ECC, then we will go for OLAP connection. After that, we will need to create a data foundation. The third step is a data foundation. This can be a single source or multiple source. If you are, as I told you already, if we have data in two sources, like two databases, we have to create multiple source. If it is only single source, we can just go ahead and create a single source data foundation. In data foundation, what we do is we will import tables. What are all the tables required for our analysis? Like article table, product, company sales. Like the tables, we will import and we will make the required joins based on the requirement. And we will check the integrity, like if the joins are working properly or not. Are we getting the information or not? We will create the data foundation. And if there are any loops formed, we will remove the loops. I'll tell you everything in the detail in the tool in the next classes. After creating data foundation, we have to create a business layer, which I told you already like. A business layer is like a creation of folders. We will create some classes and inside classes, there will be subclasses like a product or a region subproduct. Under product, we can create objects like product name, product ID and product sales quantity of sold. Like that, we will create some classes and objects according to the business terminology that user can easily understand what it is. After creating business layer, it is finally the universe will be getting created and we will check the integrity, and if everything goes well, we will publish that to repository. Once the universe is published to repository, we can consume that in Web Intelligence as a source. Source of Web Intelligence can be anything like, it can be Excel file or it can be universe, it can be SAP HANA. But here we will more focus on universe because universe is also created in a business object. We will mostly focus on universe. Once we publish it to repository, we can consume it for our reporting purpose. Here it is also same like what. Here we have given the description of what is project, what is connection, what is a data foundation. As I told you, it is a schema that defines the relevant tables and joins from one or more relational databases. Business layer is a collection of metadata objects which is understandable by a business user. Query parameters. These all we will see in our information design tool IDT in Live. These are the steps to create a universe in IDT. First, we will create a project. This we need for our interview purpose also. Whenever you go for an ABIVO interview there, they will ask like what are the steps to create a universe in IDT. These are the specific steps and these are like a static. These steps will not change. First, we will create a project. In that project, we will create a connection, whether it is a relational connection or a OLAP connection. After that, we will create a data foundation layer where we will insert tables and give the joins and all. Once we will make a database schema by joining, we will see if there are any loops and traps formed. These are the problems that we face in universe. If there are any loops formed, we have to resolve them. Otherwise, we will get incorrect data in our reports. For that, we have to check the integrity of the schema and we have to resolve the loops and traps. Once the data foundation is correct, we will go to business layer and we will create its classes and objects like state region, time dimension like calendar month year. All these objects we will create. That we will know, like if we want to see the 2022 quarter 1 sales of a particular product, we have to have all these objects like product ID, product name, year, month, what is the quantity, what is the sales. All these things we have to create and we have to map to the objects from the database that we can consume them in the reporting layer. We can create security profiles here. We can check the integrity and then we will publish the universe to repository that we can consume it in our reporting tools. As I told you, this business layer is like folders like customer folder, customer class has these details like customer address, phone number, area, region, region code, region detail, salesperson. What is his gender and what is the salesperson code? Year, month, details, plant. If we are creating some plant or class there, it has information like plant code, plant size, total employees, department code, department strength. These are all like a business layer. We will create all these objects that we can consume, these particular objects in the reporting layer to show the meaningful report. Here, as you see, dimension measure attribute. Dimension. Here we need to know these three things very important. Dimension is like a text data like customer name, product name, state, country, region name. These all come under as a dimension. It is a text data. Measure, it is like a KPI, key performance indicator. It is like a number. What is the quantity? What is the sales revenue? What is the profit? These all come under as a measure. Dimension is text data like a salesperson region and all measure is a main KPI like what is this? I mean sales amount, net profit. All these numerical data comes under measure. Attribute is like, it is like a detailed level of character data. I just put this image here to understand better. Like I'm telling, like in our data foundation layer, we will import tables and we will create joins. I just wanted to show you here like, these are the multiple tables that we can use here. If you see, this is mainly dealing with the product and Outlook outlet, like a store details and product detail, article detail. And this is a fact table. Here also we have one important thing, like the tables are two types, dimension tables and fact tables. Fact tables are the most important fact tables. They store the numerical information like sales, revenue, quantity, profit. Every numerical information is stored in fact table. Here, if you see this, Here, if you see, this is a shop facts. This is a fact table promotion fact. This is also promotion fact table. If you see here promotion cost, what is the cost here? Here, if you see margin amount sold, quantity sold. These are like numbers. The fact table stores the numbers, whereas all other tables come under dimension table. Dimension table means then in which dimension we are making the analysis. Like are we doing analysis and product side? Are we doing analysis and outlet? These all come under dimension tables. It is like a perspective of analysis. Fact table denotes the measures like it. What is the quantity? What is the margin? What is the amount? But we also need to know like what is the amount means, what for which area or for which region, for which product, for which perspective we are doing the analysis. There comes a dimension tables. Here outlet, lookup article, lookup calendar, these all promotion product, product, these all come under dimension tables and these come under fact tables. We will in data foundation layer, we will import the tables that are required and we will make the joins based on the requirements, like how these two tables are joined. What is the relation between those two tables? If the tables are scattered just like that, they don't make any sense. We have to join based on the primary keys and all. Primary key is something which is there in every table. Like here it is. Outlet table means it is like a store table. It has a shop ID. That is a primary key. Primary key is the key which distinguishes the records of the table. Here, if you see article, for every dimension table, there will be ID which acts as a primary key, which is very important to distinguish uniquely article ID. This is a primary key here. In fact table, what we store is the key figures like a sales revenue quantity margin. Apart from that, we also need to have these IDs of other dimension tables. If you see here, the shop facts ID is from this table, shop facts, table article ID color coded week ID shop ID. These are the primary keys of other dimension table. Fact table stores the key figures and primary keys of dimension tables. Based on that, the fact table will get joined to the each dimension table based on the primary key. Like if you see here, this article lookup table is joined with article ID and article ID. Like this, it is just I just wanted to give a brief. We will go in detail later. Like what are joints? What type of joints are there? How we will know like which joint and which object need to be joined with what. We will know everything in detail in next classes. Here this entire, what we say, this entire rectangle is of data foundation layer. Here, if you see, there are some folders. These are also. We will only create an information design tool. Time period stored product promotion measures. These are stored. It comes under a business layer. First, we will create a project. Later, we will create a connection. After that, we will create a data foundation layer, that is these tables. After that, we will create business layer. Here we will have like under store, we will have store name, store ID, store address, and that product we will have product name, product ID, and the promotions we have promotion. What we mean by that? Like under measures, we will have amount sold, quantity sold. The objects in these tables, we will write a formulas and we will create objects here that we will directly use these in our web intelligence reporting perspective. It is a universe schema. After we finish our universe using IDT, we will go ahead and create web intelligence reports. This is the course coverage. These are the modules that I wanted to cover as part of this training. First, in the module 1 we will just have an introduction to that web intelligence tool. In module 2, we will create a sample report. In module 3, we will see like how we can format the report. In module 4, we can see like how to work with charts, how to include charts in our reports. What kind of charts? What are all the types of charts available and all. In module 5, we will see like how we can analyze data by using filters, input controls and all. These are the modules that I wanted to cover as part of our training. Everything will be clearly covered as per this agenda. Under Module 1, I just drafted here like what are going to be covered, like what is the need of reporting tools. What is the Launchpad? Launchpad is like a repository for our business objects. It stores all the reports and the dashboards. And also it is like a one-stop solution for all of our reporting needs. How it looks and what are the features of Launchpad, how we can work with Launchpad, how we can refresh our report. Like the report might be created long back, but we need to refresh to get the real-time data. How we can refresh document, how we can share the reports which we have created to our stakeholders, how we can open already created document, how we can see the report in view mode or edit mode. What are all the options available? These we will cover under Module 1. Under Module 2, we will create a report like what is query, why we will write it. We will understand what type of sources are supported in Web Intelligence and how can we build a query. We will understand about query properties and how we can improve the performance of reports like it should not stuck. Like if there is a huge data, also if we fine tune the query properties, we can improve the performance. How we can create a first report, how we can add document level filters to that report. Document level prompts, what is the difference between filter and prompt. How we can add multiple prompts and data preview option. And how we can add report filter. These are all in detail. We can cover in the Module 2. Module 3 is formatting document. We have what are the types of blocks available in report. How can we add tables to report? How can we format tables and cells? And working with formula and functions like this is very important. Everything might not be based on the requirement. Sometimes we have to create our own objects and our own formulas in our web intelligence using formula and functions. How we can do that? What are the sections in reports? What are the breaks? And how we can work with crosstab type of report? And what are the rules? As I told you, conditional formatting. We can put some condition like if the sales revenue is less than 10,000 for that particular row, it should show in red color, red background. That immediately user get the attention like, oh, here we have to focus why it is less than 10,000. Or based on the requirement, we can create rules and we can apply conditional formatting. That is also available in Web Intelligence. We can sort the reports alphabetically or ascending or descending, or there is also option for us to custom sort. How we can copy, paste the already created blocks to other tabs and all and show and hide block option. These are all things. The formatting related details we will cover under Module 3. Under Module 4, we will work with charts, which is very interesting. Like what are all the charts available in Webby? Why we need to create charts and how to create chart. How to remove an existing chart. And there are also chart formatting options available in Web Intelligence. How we can do that is we will cover in the Module 4. In the Module 5, it is very important because whatever we are doing, it is for whatever we are creating reports to analyze the data. To see, like if we create a static report, like if I create a report for 2020 sales values for each region of under Asia Pacific countries. But if it is only for 2020 and if it is static and if there is no control on the report, if there is no interaction, then it doesn't make sense. It looks like a normal tool, but in Webby what we can do is we can add more interactivity. Like user can change the report based on their requirement. They can analyze. If they want to see only for particular quarter or for particular region, they can go and click and they can see the data changed for them for the particular prompt that they have selected. That is possible in our Webby. How we can analyze the data that I can explain in this module, like what is the scope of analysis. It is like a hierarchy. If you say like a country, state, city, it is a hierarchy. If you click on US, only US related states should appear. It should not appear like all country states. How we can enable that scope of analysis and hierarchies in Webby. How to set up scope of analysis. How we can drilling into the report. What is drilling? Drilling means here we have drill options like drill down, drill up, drill by. Drill down means we can show the country level of data. But if the user is more interested to see inside, like in country, if we click on US, if we enable drill mode, if he click on US, the report will be drilled down to the state level of information. Like under US, we will have multiple states with the sales information. It will be more detailed. First, high-level data will be there based on the requirement. If they click on that, they'll analyze. If they want to analyze more on that, there they can click on that and they'll see the more detailed data for that particular country under the state. Also, if they click on particular state, they'll go to city. Like that. The drill down feature is up, drill down, drill up. Drill down means from higher hierarchy to the lower hierarchy. Drill up means from lower hierarchy to the higher hierarchy. Drill by is like for same level of hierarchies and how we will set preferences for drilling. What is the impact of scope of analysis on performance? There is a performance impact in scope of analysis. If we know if we really want to use that hierarchical data and if we want to analyze, only we will enable the scope of analysis. Otherwise, we will just directly put that it will impact the performance. Once we're done with all these modules, we will practice some activities, lab activities, like how we can create the reports and all. Here I'm just showing the web interface. IDT we will see tomorrow. Here, this is the Business Objects Launchpad. As I told you, Launchpad is like a repository. If you see here, these are the tabs. Like a home tab is like we will see what are all the applications available in Bevo. If you see here Web Intelligence, the symbol is for Web Intelligence, this red ball on top of it. Module Lumara, Discovery Information, Stewart Crystal Reports, BI, Workspace Analysis Edition for VAPEP. These all come under SAP BI suite only. But we use Web Intelligence for reporting purpose. Mostly, it is the mostly used tool in our industry. This is about home sections. Here, if you see, whatever we have recently viewed documents will be stored here. My recently viewed document. If someone sends reports to our inbox, those reports will be here in this inbox, my inbox. If you run any documents recently, my recently run document, those will be here. If there are any alerts, it will appear here. And this is the Home tab and this is the Document tabs. Under Documents tab, we have It is my documents link. This is like my favorites. Whatever reports you create for yourself, you can save it in your favorite folder. You can create one folder like a new folder. You can create your own folder and you can name that folder with whatever you want. Here one Rainer Car folder has got created. If you create reports, you can save the reports in this folder. And if in our project or in our in our day-to-day in IT industry, in companies, what we do is these reports. The reports under my documents are only accessible to us, the individual user. But if we save those reports in the folders, public folders, these are accessible by everyone, like users or clients. Everyone can use this public folders reports based on their role and based on their access level. We can give the access to folder level access is also possible. Like if you want to set the sales folder accessible to only a limited set of people, we can create a group in a CMC. We can add those required number of people in that group and we can map that particular group to this folder that only those people can access the reports. That is possible in its public folders. Categories. This is the recycle bin. If we delete something, it will go here. We also have a search option here. If we know the report name, we can search. Type here that the report will appear. Instead of going to every folder, it is also possible to search, but we should know the correct report name. These are all under public folders. This is my document. This is for our personal use. Whatever we create for ourselves, we can save it in our reports and we can analyze whenever we want. This is about a tool. And if we just wanted to create one report, we can create in two ways. Like we can directly go to Home tab Applications. We can click on Web Intelligence. It will open the window to create a report. Once we click on this, the first symbol, the paper symbol, is new. Create a new report. This is for opening an existing report. If you want to open some report, we can go here and go to the respective folder which we want and we can open here to create a new report. If you see here, create a document. Document is nothing but a report. Here it is asking for us to select a data source. These are the possible data sources which Web Intelligence supports. No data source. It is like to create any template, we can use this. No data source. It will create an empty document with some template like formatting, header, footer and all. If you want to create, we will use, but we will not use that much. The second source is a universe. Select universe as a data source. As I told you already, there are universes already created. We can use the existing universes for our reporting purpose. And if you are technically or if you are strong enough, we can also create our own universes. Like if you are a complete BO developer, we will not just stay and create in Webby report only. Sometimes we also have to create universes or sometimes we have to make some enhancements to the existing universes. We have to know like how we can do using information design tool. Once we know the universe if it is a e-fashion, it's like a sample training universe. We have in our day-to-day life, we have multiple other product-related universes, audit-related universes. Based on the universe, we can go to universe and we can click on universe. We will select what universe we want to create a report on and we will create a report on top of that. The sources can be universe. It can be Excel, which you have. If you have any Excel data, you can create a Webby report on top of that also. But this Excel should be stored in this repository, but it should not be there on your desktop. You cannot access that before you need to consume. You have to keep the Excel in our BI Launchpad repository. If you see here, it should be stored somewhere in the documents or in the folders. Then only you can consume here. That can be Excel or that can be text data. BCCS, as I told you already, other than relational data sources like MySQL or OLAP, we have OLAP data sources like SAP BOBJ. There the query is already created by using BCCS query. That query we can consume directly here. In that case, we do not need to create a data foundation layer in Universe. We will just create connection B, IC's connection in Universe, and we can directly consume that BCCS query here as a data source. Or we can use SP HANA tab as that view as a data source here or SAP HANA online. It is connecting to live data. Whatever the report generates is like a live data, instant data. We can use that or a freehand SQL. If you are well versed with SQL, you can directly write SQL code and create a report on top of that. Mostly what we use in our day-to-day life in IT industry is like a Universe or BCCS. Sometimes HANA, but I mostly work on Universe and BCCS as a data source. If it is a Universe, it is coming from BO only. Sometimes, most of the times. If it is only reporting side, we don't need to create any enhancements in Universe also. But if it is a BCCS, it is just a connection. What we do in Universe is we will just create a BICS connection that we can directly consume, that BCCS query and reporting layer. These two are the most widely used data sources for web intelligence. I'll just show like if I click on Universe, you will see like these are the available universes in our training repository. And this fashion is mostly used for training. If I click on this fashion, and these are the classes and objects that are created in the Universe. These are the available objects. This panel is called Query Panel. Don't get overwhelmed. It is just to introduce. I'll go in detail in the next classes. I am just trying to tell you like how we will create. This is the Query Panel. These are the result objects. Whatever we require to report, we will create and we will click on this state and sales revenue. If you just click on this, these come under report. Result objects, whatever they are in this pane, come under report. The query filter, if you want to filter for year. If you want to filter this report only for particular year. Likewise, we will create a result objects and we'll put filter. And if we run the query, we will see the report based on our requirement. I'll show you some sample reports. It is one of the report which is created to explain the input controls. If you see here this, we will all here. The year 2016 is there. If you want to see the data for 2017, if you see here it is all 2016. But if you want to see the data for 2019, we can just create a click on this 2019 and the data comes for 2019. That kind of analysis, analyzing and interactivity can be provided in web intelligence. End user just clicks on Los Angeles. They'll see the data based on that. If they want to see the data for New York State, within a click we are getting the required information. This is possible using this web intelligence. There are many options here. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.